My name is SYAKIR AIMAN bin ASWADI. My matric number is 2024-287494.
My name is NURUL SOLEHAH binti Muhammad YUNUS and my matrix number 2024-631772.
My name is FATINA binti FAISAL and my matric number is 2024-420084.
Name is AIRIENA BATRIESYA binti Muhammad ANUAR and my matric number is 2024407884. So let's begin.
Justice can have a different meanings for each individual. However, in general, it refers to the broader social context within the court system as well as efforts to reduce systematic barriers faced by various members of society. The question that arises is whether the judicial system is an important and valuable institution to the country. Its importance can be seen through the role in ensuring that justice is upheld freely, transparently, and integrity. So today, we will be discussing the judicial system in Malaysia, focusing on three main aspects: the structure of the court system, the functions of the judiciary, and the challenges faced in ensuring the effectiveness in our country.
Hello, so now I'm going to explain about the structure of court system in Malaysia. So, in Malaysia, we are practicing a dual court system, which consists of a civil court and a Syariah court. So, without any further, let me explain about the civil court first. The civil courts are in charge in handling the criminal and civil cases that involving all the citizens regarding their religions. This court operates under the federal law. It is structured in a hierarchy from the lowest to the highest court. The first level in the civil court system is the magistrate court. The magistrate court is the lowest court in Malaysia. It handles minor criminal cases and small civil claims. Above the magistrate court, we have the session court. It hears more serious criminal cases and handles civil cases involving large sums of money. However, it does not have the power to hear cases that carry the death penalty. Cases are usually being heard by a session court judge. Next is the High Court, which hold a higher authority. There is two High Court in Malaysia. First, the High Court of Malaya. Second, the High Court of Sabah and Sarawak. It has original and appellate jurisdiction. It handles appeal from the magistrate and session court. Above the High Court is the Court of Appeal. These courts are in charge in hearing appeals from the High Court. It does not conduct trial. It reviews whether the law was applied correctly in the earlier decision. Lastly, at the top of the court hierarchy, we have the Federal Court. It is the highest court in Malaysia. The decisions that being made there are final. It cannot be appealed further. It mostly handles constitutional matters and final appeals. Apart from the civil courts, Malaysia also has Syariah courts. Syariah courts deal only with Muslims. They handle matters related to Islamic law, such as marriage and divorce, inheritance, and religious offense under Islamic law. Syariah courts operates at the state level and their authority is limited to matters stated in state Islamic law. To conclude, the court structure in Malaysia ensures the separation of power between civil and religious law. The hierarchy allows cases to be reviewed through appeals, ensuring accuracy and fairness in judicial decision.
Now, we move on to the jurisdiction of court system in Malaysia. Jurisdiction means the power of authority of a court to hear and decide a case. In Malaysia, there are two main court systems. There are civil court and Syariah court. First, I will explain the civil court system. The magistrate court is the lowest court in the civil court system. It is divided into first-class magistrate and second-class magistrate. Both of class have same jurisdiction, which is civil and criminal. For civil jurisdiction, a first-class magistrate may hear civil case where the amount is dispute does not exceed 100,000 ringgit. For criminal jurisdiction, a first-class magistrate may hear offence punishable by a fine only or imprisonment up to 10 years. For example, is traffic offence. Next, for second-class magistrate, their civil jurisdiction is limited to case where the claim does not exceed 10,000 ringgit. In criminal matters, a second-class magistrate may hear minor offence punishable by a fine only or imprisonment not exceeding 12 months. Next, we move to the section court. It also has civil and criminal jurisdiction, same with magistrate, but it more wider than the magistrate. For the civil jurisdiction, a section court may hear all civil matters involving motor vehicles, accident claim, dispute between landlord and tenant, which is worth more than 100,000 ringgit, but does not exceed 1 million ringgit. The second one is criminal jurisdiction. A section court has jurisdiction to hear all criminal offences except those punishable by death. Furthermore, is High Court. The High Court is one of the superior court in Malaysia. It has civil, criminal, and appellate jurisdiction. First, for the civil jurisdiction, it will hear serious cases such as divorce, probate, bankruptcy, and civil claim exceeding 1 million ringgit. It also hears criminal case involving the death penalty and appeals from the magistrate and section court. Moreover, it's the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal is the second highest court in Malaysia. Its main role is to hear appeals from the decision made by the High Court in both civil and criminal case. Last but not least is Federal Court. Federal Court is the highest court in Malaysia. It has 4 jurisdictions, which is original, appellate, revisional, and advisory jurisdiction. First, for the original jurisdiction, it has power to determine the validity of any law made by Parliament or the legislature of state dispute on any other question between states or between the Federation and any states. Next, for the appellate jurisdiction, it has power to hear appeal from the Court of Appeal and High Courts about the civil and criminal matters. Furthermore, its revisional jurisdiction, which it has power to decide any question arising in the court out of any provision of the Federal Constitution. Lastly, its advisory jurisdiction. In this jurisdiction, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong or the YDPA may refer to the Federal Court for an opinion or advice on the effect of any provision of the Constitution and announce his opinion in open court. Next is the Syariah Court. We start with Syariah Lower Court first. The Syariah Lower Court is the lowest level of the Syariah court system for criminal jurisdiction. For example, in PAD, it may try offence committed by a Muslim where the maximum punishment does not exceed a fine of 3,000 ringgit or imprisonment of up to 2 years or both. For more jurisdiction, the Syariah Lower Court may hear case where the amount is dispute does not exceed 1 million ringgit or case that cannot be estimated in money. Next is the Syariah High Court, which handle more serious and complex Syariah case. For criminal jurisdiction, it may try offence under the Syariah Crimes Enactment and impose any punishment provided by the law. For more jurisdiction, it hears cases involving Muslims such as marriage, divorce, fasakh, nusyuz, rujuk, and division of marital property. Last but not least is the Syariah Appeal Court. Syariah Appeal Court is the highest Syariah court in Malaysia. It has the jurisdiction to hear and determine appeals from the decision of the Syariah High Court and to decide an important question of Syariah law in the interest of justice.
For my part, I will explain the key challenges faced by the Malaysian court system, focusing on both Islamic legal system and civil judicial system. These challenges influence consistency and efficiency and public confidence in our legal institutions. The first one, lack of standardization among states. One of the major challenges in the Islamic legal system is the lack of standardization among states. Since Islamic law falls under state authority, each state establishes its own enactment and procedures. Because of this, we see differences in interpretation, outdated provision in some states, and inconsistent practices. This inconsistency causes confusion, as similar cases may receive different outcomes depending on the state. Next, limited jurisdiction and sentencing power. Another issue is the limited jurisdiction and sentencing power of the Sharia courts. Their authority mainly covers personal and family matters involving Muslim, and punishments are restricted to 356, which is a RM 500 fine, 3 years of imprisonment, and 6 strokes of whipping. Efforts to strengthen these powers, such as the proposed amendment to Act 355, have been delayed due to controversy. These limitations reduce the effectiveness of enforcement and sometimes weaken public trust in the Sharia courts. Next, civil court interference and jurisdictional conflicts. Finally, the Sharia courts continue to face jurisdictional conflicts with the civil courts, although Article 121 in bracket 1A is meant to protect Sharia jurisdiction. Civil courts still renew or overturn Sharia decision, especially in issues involving constitutional rights, conversion, custody, or cases involving non-Muslim. This overlap creates delays, confusion, and affects the independence of the Sharia legal system. Next, we go to the civil judicial system. First one is case delays and backlogs. The civil court also experienced long-standing problems, particularly delays and large case backlogs. For example, past judiciary reports have shown that many cases remain pending for more than 10 years, including cases registered before the year 2000. Although the fast-track system was introduced, it did not significantly reduce delays because the disposal rate continued to be slow. Next, administrative weaknesses. Administrative issues also affect the civil courts. Justice Dato' Ian Chin highlighted problems such as missing documents, unprocessed files, and letters being ignored for years. In one case, 42 reminder letters were never forwarded to the officer responsible. These weaknesses disrupt court operations and undermine justice delivery. And the last one, integrity issues and conflict of interest. Another concern is conflict of interest involving court staff and lawyers. For instance, some court staff reportedly receive personal loans from lawyers in exchange for priority in fixing hearing dates. Such unethical behavior creates bias and damages the public's trust in the legal process.
In conclusion, the court system in Malaysia plays a vital role in upholding the law, protecting citizens' rights, and maintaining social harmony. Its structure hierarchy including civil courts, Sharia courts, high courts, courts of appeal, and federal courts to ensure that cases are handled fairly according to their respective jurisdictions. Despite challenges such as case delays and inconsistencies in Sharia law, the independence and integrity of the judiciary remain crucial for maintaining public confidence. Therefore, Malaysia's court system continues to be a key pillar of the nation, ensuring justice and the rule of law for all citizens.